Look at how tattooed those shirts are. You're okay with that? Look at how tattooed those guys are. They look like they're scary guys behind bars.
Right. But here's the problem. If they
you see them, Gretchen, that's what
right,
they look like in there. They were tattooed from.
Hold on. So here is the problem. You are an attorney.
I think they would look at those people like a threat. Like if I was alone at 8 o'clock at night and I would see them.
Hold on,
this is
Let
what the administration, the image they're putting out there. These are not people I want to see when I come out of a Broadway show or when I come out of church. So they're behind bars.
Pete Hegseth has a bunch of tattoos. Is he a criminal? Okay, but it doesn't matter how the tattoos.
Those are gang
and what
tattoos. Let me ask you, young man, how many represent? Did you represent someone from the Crips gang this week? Because I don't think so. I did. Don't tell me about gangs and tattoos and gang signs. It's the world I live in at 127 Street and 107th Street in Manhattan. So don't be schooling me about gangs and tattoos. It wasn't a tattoo. It is absolutely a
Hold on. Order in the court.
Hello, everybody. Guys, this panel was just vile to watch. Racism is just becoming more and more normalized. This is CNN, and check out how this dude author talks. The bald dude right there in the panel. This is incredible.
Yes. What is the messaging when you see Kristi Noem, for example, with these folks that they're accusing of being gang members? We have not seen what it is they're accused of. We don't know who they are. And then seeing someone on the street who's a student arrested, broad daylight, cameras everywhere. What's the point of this?
It's what Gretchen was saying earlier. You know, there's a base, a MAGA base. There's the people who voted for President Trump. The number one issue was immigration. That was the number one issue was according to polling, was migrants, migrants, migrants. So here it is.
It was actually the economy, but it was the second. Immigration was very close. It was 1 and 2.
So here it is. We got these really, really bad dudes. We did what we said 90 days into our administration last. Look at how bad these are. Look at how tattooed those. Look at how tattooed those shirts are.
You're okay with that?
Look at how tattooed those guys are. They look like they're scary guys behind bars.
But here's the problem. If they
you see them, Gretchen, that's what
they
look like in there. They were tattooed from.
Hold on. So here is the problem. You are an attorney. I mean, look, you're an attorney.
Wow. So the loss of due process is okay to you?
The people who voted for President Trump in middle America, I think that they would see a bunch, there was dozens of young men tattooed from the top of their head to the bottom of their knees. I think they would look at those people like a threat. Like if I was alone at 8 o'clock at night and I would see them. This is what the administration, the image they're putting out there. These are not people I want to see when I come out of a Broadway show or when I come out of church. So they're behind bars. They're behind bars. And if there's people who are this is what you're asking me what the imagery is from the Trump administration. What is the messaging? This is their messaging.
Yes, I agree with that part of it.
You voted for us to do this, and we have done it. That's the messaging. You can talk to my esteemed colleagues if it's right or if it's wrong. The question I was asked was, what is the messaging? That I wasn't asked that question.
Do you want to weigh in, though?
No, because
I'm interested in your opinion as a lawyer.
She's the host. She's the host.
So when you sit there, hold on. What I need to have happen, I will ask you the question.
He already weighed in. He did. No, they asked him multiple times, "Are you okay with it? Are you okay with it?" And he would not answer it. It's because he's okay with it. These people are gross. These people are vile. And Hispanics that voted for Trump, I blame you more than anyone. These are our people they're talking about. Just because you got tattoos. Let's just be real. It's because you're brown and you have tattoos. Coming out of an opera in Broadway? Like, are you effing kidding me? God forbid you see a person of color with tattoos. Oh my God, I don't want to see that disgusting thing. Are you effing kidding me? Hispanics that voted for Trump, how can you not see this? 55% of us voted for, it's so embarrassing, voted for this. Are you starting to see that you're a person of color and how they treat black people with removing pictures all over the White House, using DEI as a racial slur, removing pictures of Jackie Robinson, alternative teachings of slavery? Do you not see the parallels on how us Hispanics are being treated? You voted for this. Now you're starting to see how ironic that you're shooting your own people in the foot.
letting you finish your point. That point has been made, that it is for show, that you think that people will look at these people and see the tattoos and say, oh, they've got to be criminals. So the question is, as a lawyer, do you think people, by the way, Pete Hegseth has a bunch of tattoos. Is he a criminal? Okay, but it doesn't matter how the tattoos
Those are gang
and what
tattoos.
because
Let me
they're
ask
all
you,
brown
young man,
skin
how many
versus
members
white skin.
did you represent someone from the Crips gang this week? Because I don't think so. I did. Don't tell me about gangs and tattoos and gang signs. It's the world I live in at 127 Street
sure
and
you
at
did.
107th Street in Manhattan. So don't be schooling me about
Right.
gangs and tattoos. It wasn't a tattoo that says mom. These are all tattoos that say how many
is
people
happening
they've
right
killed,
now? Okay.
how many people they've killed.
Okay,
That's
here's the
Is that
issue.
evidence?
No,
hold
no,
on.
it is
Is a
messaging.
tattoo
No
evidence?
one-
Messaging. Of
Right.
course it is.
A tattoo is evidence.
Absolutely.
Wow.
You don't think a
Wow.
prosecutor is
Wow.
allowed? You don't think a
Wow.
prosecutor is
And you-
allowed
and you be
to have
comfortable-
someone
you be
show their
comfortable saying,
tattoos? And
Look at his tattoos. He
how
must
many
be
years of
guilty.
law school did you go
Look at
to?
me, Mom.
Of
Essie.
course.
Mom, can you
Okay.
pick me up?
All
Are
right.
you kidding me?
By the
All
way,
right.
Guys, do you see how angry he got? This is why. Look how angry he looks right there. What he was basically saying there, don't tell me about guys with tattoos. I represent them in court. So essentially saying, I see black and Hispanic people all the time that are criminals. Don't tell me if I can recognize a criminal from a mile away or not. These people are disgusting. This guy's a prosecutor. He used to be a Fox News contributor. No effing surprise. That's basically what he's saying. I've been around enough black and Hispanic people to know, trust me, they're dangerous. They're suspicious. Like, guys, let me know in the comments, how did you read that take there? Rewind if you have to. This is incredible. And by the way, legal Hispanics, if they can get you out of the country, they would. They don't like us normal, good Hispanics either.
Hold on a second.
Where's the New York State Bar?
It is absolutely admissible.
Hold
Did
on.
you
Hold
take
on.
the bar?
Wow.
Order in the court.
Thank you.
All right. Talking over each other doesn't work.
I'm
No
answering.
one talking over each other doesn't work. No one can hear what you're saying. You are making the argument that having a tattoo can make someone look like a criminal. Okay, that's the argument you are
Admissible
having.
in court.
It sometimes is admissible in court.
Thank you.
But you're also making the argument that because they have tattoos, they must be criminal. Is that what you're arguing?
No. I'm
It sounded like that's what you were
I'm
arguing.
saying the imaging on television that Trump is trying to put forth and the White House is trying to put forth is you elected us to clean up the killings, the gang members.
Right,
in
but if
Long
they are
Island, New
not
York.
gang members,
We
then
have
that's a
done that.
problem, and they haven't been convicted. Essie,
Why are we
go.
still doing
They should
this?
be
Why are we
doing
still
that.
doing this?
Essie, yes.
This is
Go.
nonsense.
She's the host.
This is
Go.
nonsense.
Well, tell that to the
What's
host.
interesting
All right.
here?
Essie.
What's interesting here?
He's what you get from decades and training people, a huge amount of the population, that people of color are somehow more dangerous or violent or this or that. This is what happens.
Is the Trump justification for rounding these people up without due process is the Alien Immigration Act, right?
From 1798. Right.
He is saying that essentially we are being invaded. It is a war. That is how he's justifying this without due process. I'm not a lawyer, but I know what due process is, and it's important. The thing that's funny about this now is if it's a war and you're doing this under the auspices of war, Kristi Noem just broke the Geneva Convention because you're not allowed to pose in front of prisoners of war. You cannot have it both ways. You cannot just say, well, these are just detainees now. They're not our problem. They're in some El Salvadorian prison, so I'm going to take a photo op to look like I'm playing at politics, and say that we are at war from illegal invasions of people that we don't even know. We haven't named them. We are just disappearing them like Russia, like Syria, like every bad regime and actor out there. We're just disappearing people now.
They may have probable cause to believe that criminal activity is afoot. It means they can pick them up, but they can't be putting them on a plane and send them out of the country. They have to be detaining them and putting them in front of the appropriate judge, whoever that may be, a federal judge, an immigration judge. And yes, of course, they should be due process.
All right. We've cleared that up.
Guys, I'm going to leave it there. Let me give you my quick thoughts on all this. This is the red meat I've been talking about. This is the racist red meat to the mindless racist base of followers. Yes, not all Republicans, but a huge amount of them. And then there's this huge amount of them that know the racism exists and are adjacent and still vote Republican. Guys, they don't think you're intelligent enough to see through them. They feed you this racist red meat, channel your anger away from what they're taking away from you, like your Social Security, and channel it towards your fellow people. And the issue with this is, like I said, decades of teaching people and propagandizing people to believe that people of color are either violent, illegal immigrants selling drugs, or terrorists, or this or that, or conspiracy against Jewish people. Like, it's just constant for decades and decades. Some of this stuff is taught by parents, friends. And you see how angry it gets him. And I think deep down inside, the reason it gets him so angry is because in his heart, I don't think he believes that everyone should be treated equally. I think he believes if you look a certain way, you inherently should be treated worse. And guys, this stuff is dangerous. I mean, what was it, a month ago or less? A little girl committed suicide. I think she was 9 years old or 12 years old after being bullied about being an illegal immigrant. Only because she was Hispanic. And guys, you put this on top of this constant attack on DEI and using it as a new N-word, removing pictures of black people, calling the plane crash, blaming it on a DEI hire, essentially saying the person was incompetent because they were likely a person of color or a woman. Or the Ben Shapiro. I'm talking about pardoning Derek Chauvin and Elon Musk agreeing with it. The murderer of George Floyd. That sparked the BLM movement. And how about a little cherry on top? How about we give it talk? They're now talking about maybe we should give the Proud Little Boys, the white nationalists. Trump was asked about this. The Proud Little Boys, the white nationalists, the people that were arrested on January 6th, reparations. Again, and I'll say to Hispanics that voted for Trump, that are legally here and think somehow you're better and they'll take you in somehow. I can tell you right now, they have no interest. If they see you as a useful idiot and would love to get rid of you as well if they can. Just like there talks about removing birthright citizenship. I hope you're starting to see, Hispanics are starting to see more and more that as much as you hate it, your issues are parallel with black people. You're dealing with the same exact thing. They attack them the way they attack us, just a different attack. Black people learned a long time ago that Republicans saw them as subhuman. It's time, Hispanics, and anyone of color, it's time that you realize that as well. They just see us as subhumans. Hispanics, yes, that includes us. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. This is CNN. This is insane. And could you imagine this climate under Kamala Harris that we have right now? But you couldn't vote for the black woman, right? God forbid you voted for the black woman. The chaos that would have ensued. Incredible. I'm going to leave it there, guys. This is disheartening what's happening. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments. I try and read just about all of them. Please subscribe. It really helps the channel. And I'll catch you in the next one.